Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. Today I'm making a video on the Redskins possibly being interested in trading for David Njoku. I'm also going to give you guys three possible trade scenarios involving the Redskins and David Njoku, and also we'll be giving you guys a very important team name update at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video. If you guys are new, subscribe for Redskins and NFL content. So let's get right into the video. So on July 3rd, NFL Update reported he said, Browns tight end David Njoku has requested a trade per Adam Schefter. The team wants to keep him, but Njoku is hoping for a trade before training camp. So we've known this for a long time, and the Redskins have actually been linked to David Njoku for a while. It was reported earlier this offseason before the draft that we were interested in trading for him, especially if we traded Trent Williams and maybe got David Njoku back and a couple picks. So we've been linked to them for a while, and this is what Jeremy Fowler said about possible compensation for David Njoku and the Browns. He said the Browns have known for about a year that David Njoku was unhappy in Cleveland and would welcome a trade, I'm told. They were not blindsided by this. Early predictions from sources with other teams is Njoku might be worth a fourth or fifth round pick. And if that is true, a fourth or fifth round pick, I would definitely do that. A fourth or fifth round pick for former first round tight end, which I'll get into his stats later, who is really good when he's healthy. In his first or second year, he had about 600, 700 yards in his second year and played really good with Baker Mayfield. So I would definitely welcome a trade with that. And I'll give you guys a few different trade scenarios. But the reason why the compensation is so low is because they have absolutely no leverage if he really does plan on holding out or anything, because they signed Austin Hooper to a big time contract in free agency, so he's their number one tight end, and then Njoku would be the second tight end, but they also drafted tight end Harrison Bryant, I believe, in the fourth round. So that's another tight end that has a chance to be ahead of Njoku, and he wants to be a number one tight end on the team, and he's not going to be that on Cleveland, even though they run a lot of tight ends, two tight end sets and more, especially with Stefanski. It's going to be hard for him to get as many targets as he does want to get. So I think a trade to the Redskins would benefit us and also them if they could get someone like Ryan Anderson or a few picks. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's first off, though, look at his stats from his 3 years in Cleveland. So, in his rookie year, 2017, he was 21 years old. He played in 16 games, started five of them, had 60 targets, caught 32 passes for 386 yards, 4 touchdowns. Played pretty good overall, especially for a rookie. Again, you got to keep in mind he did not have good quarterback play that year at all. And then his second year was his really good year. He was 22 years old. His second year, played in 16 games, started 14 of them, 88 targets, caught 56 passes for 639 yards, 4 touchdowns. Played really good that season. And yeah, I think if he's healthy, that's kind of the production you can look for, and even more, because that was his second year, so he's still developing. And if you look at his stats from his second year, they're a lot lower, but it's for obvious reasons. First of all, he only played in 4 games, and in those 4 games, he was not getting targeted at all because him and former head coach Freddie Kitchens did not have a good relationship, and a lot of players in general did not have a good relationship with Freddie Kitchens. And he missed almost the entire year with a wrist injury and a concussion. So I think if he's healthy, he can get 500, 600 or more yards. And especially on a Washington Redskins team where there is no clear star tight end or even a tight end that you think is going to be a starter. Logan Thomas, who a lot of people are saying is our best tight end, he would be a backup at best on most teams, not a starter at all, and he's projected to be our starter. So I think if we traded for David Njoku, I think he would immediately come in and become a starter, and I definitely think he could get 500, 600 yards in his first year in Washington, and he's a pretty good red zone threat, and I would love to get him for a low price, especially. Remember, they don't have to trade him because he's still on his rookie contract, but they do not have much leverage at all just because he wants to get. I mean, David Njoku doesn't have much leverage, and the Browns don't have much leverage if they want to trade him. They said they don't want to trade him, but if Njoku decides to hold out or anything, then they might be inclined to trade him. But I think it would be most likely for a player rather than a pick because they're kind of in win now mode, or at least in a 2 to 3 year window, because they've got a lot of cap space, but a lot of their players are going to be coming up for contract in a couple of years, including Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. So they kind of want to win now. So I think they don't want to trade a guy that can contribute for a 5th round pick. So here I'll give you guys a few potential trade scenarios. So right now we have about $36 million in cap space. I kind of had to play around with it to get it to the right number. But the first trade scenario that I think that could happen is, like I said, they probably want a player. So I would do Ryan Anderson and a 6th or 7th round, I think a 6th round pick for David Njoku. And I think they would do that because Ryan Anderson is probably worth anywhere from a 4th to a 6th round pick. If we traded him in the middle of the season next year, if he's playing good, we can probably get a 4th, 5th round pick. But right now, it'd be around a 5th round pick, in my opinion. And that's a little less than what David Njoku's worth. So if you throw in a 6th round pick, I think that would get the deal done, and it would benefit both sides because who cares about a 6th round pick for us? And Ryan Anderson could be a really good player on a team like the Browns where he's going to get the opportunity. But on the Redskins, he still might have a decent year, but he's not going to have the impact that he would have on the Browns because he's not going to get the playing time he would on the Browns. He's playing on a stacked defensive line with, on the outside, you got Chase Young, Montez Sweat. You also got Ryan Kerrigan and a couple others who are outside linebackers, and our linebacking core overall is pretty deep. So he's not going to get as much playing time, and in a lot of teams, I think he would be a starter or play a lot more than he would be playing on the Redskins next year. We'll see how much he plays this year, but I do think Ryan Anderson could be involved in a trade with the Redskins, and I would throw in a 6th round pick, and if it has to be a 5th round pick, I would also do that because I think David Njoku could make a huge impact. And remember, it's a position of need. Our tight end position obviously is super weak. The only problem is, though, we do have a lot of tight ends, and we would have to cut a couple extra, but I think it would be worth it. The next one, and after this, again, I'll give you guys the important team name update, but I think another trade scenario would be just straight up a 4th round pick for David Njoku. And you could honestly I think a 4th round pick for David Njoku, and they probably think we're not going to have a great record, maybe a top 10 4th round pick. So I think they would do that because it's a really high 4th round pick for them. That's what they're going to think. And for a player like David Njoku who isn't going to make he's going to make an impact, but he's not going to make a huge impact. I think it would benefit both sides. And again, with that Ryan Anderson trade, I think it would also benefit both sides when it comes to David Njoku and Ryan Anderson, because Ryan Anderson is in a contract year, so he wants more playing time, and same with David Njoku. So I think it would be a good trade for us. And yeah, and then the last one would be David Njoku to the Redskins for a 5th and a 6th round pick. Again, the only players I really see us possibly trading is probably Ryan Anderson. There's a couple others that if injuries happen, or if injuries don't happen, like maybe you could do AP, but I highly doubt it. That's only if Darius Guice, Bryce Love, everyone's healthy and playing good. But I think we got to keep AP for the remainder of the season at least, because we need him as an insurance policy. Okay, so now on to the team name update. So it's a pretty big update, but it's kind of what we expected. So this is what Ron Rivera actually said. So he said, we came up with a couple of names. 2 of them I really like, Rivera said, declining to reveal those possibilities. So anyone who's been saying that it's not going to happen, that pretty much confirms it right there. We are changing our name from the Redskins to another name. Here is another comment he talked about. Rivera said, he believes the most important criteria for a new name is that it's respectful of Native American culture and traditions, and also as a tribute to the military. The son of an Army officer, Rivera was raised on military bases. He noted that many Native Americans serve in the military, and he believes the new name should reflect that. And he indicated Snyder agrees with that. So that is actually huge news that flew under the radar, in my opinion. So that kind of gives you a hint on what the name is going to be. I think that kind of makes the Red Tails a favorite, possibly, because the Red Tails has some military background on it. I also do think Red Spears could possibly be it because of Native American culture. There's a couple other ones I do think that it hints to it, maybe even Warriors because of the military and other things. But I don't think it's going to be a random thing like the Capitals or the Nationals. I do think it's going to have some Native American tie, and if that's not possible because of logistical issues, then it might just be something with the military because I think that's what Snyder and Rivera wants. And I do think Ron Rivera is having some input on this, which just shows how powerful he is with the Redskins, at least for now. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later. My take on it is next week, next couple weeks. It's definitely going to happen before training camp, in my opinion. I know it sucks for a lot of us though, but it looks like it's going to happen. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about Njoku. If you want him, what would the compensation be for you guys in your opinion? And yeah, and also about the name change. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and peace.